Then the camera comes up and we find our band of misfits standing outside the building that we've come to know as the Stacks, shrouded in mostly darkness, but an ethereal amber glow from the lighting in the room as the metallic walls shimmer and shine off in the distance and off of the surface of the Stacks building itself. What are you guys up to?
Patty's sitting there for a moment after basically having the shaft in her head and looking around, and she just kind of like, so what's the plan? We regroup at base and then figure out where to go from here?
Well, depends on who we can get a hold of. I'm gonna try and get a hold of the Scullies. Best as I can.
Alright. Krill's at base, right? That not asking Krill,
yes, indeed.
Like, yeah, just asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the very last thing she did last session.
Yeah. I'm going to hit up Krill and see if there's anything I can help with there. Maybe she's got something that she can do a lot here. I could probably get in touch with the vets at the bullet hole. Maybe we can start getting some people rounded up to just start getting a little bit of a squadron set up, and then maybe I can talk to... I don't know if this is a good idea, but with all that's happening right now, I could probably get in touch with my old boss at MedTech. Maybe he can give us some resources, supplies to start applying. Like if we can get like a small unit set up, then we can do some serious work.
Maybe.
All right.
At least see what he knows.
Okay.
The only thing that I can think of to do is to see if I can get in contact with some of the people from 2600. Unfortunately, I do not know their real names. And the only known location that I've seen any of them visit was Boom Goes the Firewall.
Wasn't there one chick who was running the cafe there that was kind of in it? She was like kind of paying attention. What does she look like again? I don't know. It's been a while.
I believe that was the real-life personification of one of the attendants, who I forget.
Okay. Seems like it's a starting point. Just remember if you
tried to go anywhere else. You should try and go there now, Troy. See if you can.
All right. Troy lifts up his hand and looks at where the symbol was last seen and says, "Boom goes the firewall." It seems that we will have to get there the old-fashioned way.
So there's at least some limits to our ability to move around at the moment?
It would seem that or our only current location is willing to transport us is between here and our home base.
Didn't you try to go on the net?
I did, and I was promptly logged off by what I believe to have been passerby.
But did you go on there? Because, like, you remember Karen, right? He went full buckethead while he did his thing, right? So
he froze up. Yes.
Yeah.
I am uncertain if where I was the net. It did not, well, it resembled a highly dilapidated state of the net.
I mean, if an earthquake hits NSF, it's still NSF, right?
True, but this is a digital recreation. It's not merely an earthquake. It can't simply be destroyed. So, either this was some kind of representation of the current state of the net, or it was something different. Of which I do not know.
I mean, I can't give you a 100% answer, but with all this shit happening, with your ability to disappear, move in out of reality from these fucks, I mean, what functionally is the difference between the net and the real world at this point? That's what I'm feeling. It's feeling like the distance between this shit gets real close very quickly.
I do not know yet.
Alright, well, I'm gonna hit up Krill, check on her, see if she needs me to do anything, and then I'm gonna try and hit up the bullet hole and maybe John so I can figure out some shit.
Sounds good. I think I'll head back from the base as well. Try and find a youngin'.
Alright, she's not gonna look at her hand, but she kind of just sends a thought out into the chest as she's kind of just saying, like, we're gonna have a conversation later, and then she teleports to the base. And she'll, kind of arriving wherever she is, she'll go and look around for Krill, and kind of, when she finds her room, or her space, and just knocks on the doorway just as she's about to enter.
So, you see Krill actually at the crafting table. It is directly lined into one of the power cells that she brought down with her, and it's trying to make more. There is the remains of Snips's body scattered on the table as well.
Yo,
Hello, Petty.
you doing all right? What you working on?
I don't think it's very fair to call up one of my kids just for them to see their brother in a sorry state. Further, this will make getting them power so much easier.
You're just basically trying to make a couple more batteries so you can get more shit to work with?
I'm gonna make Snips into a walking battery. A very big walking battery that can come with me down there, get charged, come back up, and by his own free means, go about and help out, go help out the other androids, robots, automatons, to show that I'm respectful of their needs too.
Okay. A peace offering.
Not just what they need, but also via the means of something they can respect.
Okay.
I can ask Snips to do it. I can't tell Snips to do it.
Yeah, I don't think telling Snips would look too good with them at this point.
Exactly. Well, to be fair, I really can't tell him to do anything anyways. But I think you know what I mean.
Anyways, I'm thinking about checking out the bullet hole. Karen's doing her thing. Troy's doing his thing. Is there anything you need me to do specifically? Like, I don't know. Like, I've got connections at the Razorback. Kind of just see if we can get them on doing something, helping you out there. Any ideas?
No, not really. Honestly, I don't think we have. It doesn't feel like we have too much time. I'm honing in on what I know I can do, and I'm doing it as fast as I can. I'm going to be real. Maybe another 20 minutes, 30 at most. I have Snips up and walking with a new body, power cells, and we can go get his sibling and their friends back over here.
Do you know where they are?
I don't have to. I can always contact Dean in moment's notice in an emergency. I just don't abuse that ability because that's not right.
Yeah. Well, if there was any time to try and reach out, this is probably it.
Exactly. Which is why when Snips is almost done, so I'm going to be doing just that.
Gotcha. If it's not too much on your plate, do we want to try and set up some radio so we can at least keep comms with each other while we're moving about?
Hey Kai,
Mm-hmm.
can I dedicate one of my what do we call them again? Cyberheart charges to just being a self-contained network for our comms?
Here's the issue with that. You don't have any repeaters, so you'd have a limited range on those communications. And given the density of concrete and the city's construction, and all of the wiring, despite it not being powered, despite it not being on, all of that stuff acts as a signal attenuator. So you would have very limited range.
I can connect to my drones across the city, but I can't do that for comms. Am I using other city establishment, like other services to do that?
Unless you want to build a very specific communications device that has the complexity that your drones have, you can go for that. But I take the communications channel that you have with your drones as some sort of higher grade system that you spent the sum total of years building.
Yeah, so I'm asking, can I use that system to host their comms on it?
Yeah. You're gonna have a couple of hefty checks to do this in a compressed time span. But yeah, you can try doing that. It's a lot of work in a small amount of time.
As Patty's kind of seeing the look on her face, she's like, hey, don't worry about it. You've got your focus at the moment. If you want to work on it, do it. It's just something in the air. Consideration. Don't worry about it right now.
I'll be here. I don't think I can focus on that right now.
That's fine. No issue. Get the battery up and running first, and then we can set up communications next.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, I'm going to head out. See ya. Patty slips on out, starts making her way to the bullet hole first. See if she can just take a route. She's trying to avoid the majority of people still.
That's great and all, but I'm going to reverse you back to the door.
Okay.
So I assume you're leaving out the front door by the sort of courtyard area, right?
Sure.
Cool. When the door opens, there's a shape sort of hovering in that threshold. It's a silhouette. There's two figures. One bipedal, mismatched combat drone legs, and what looks to be like an industrial cleaner upper body. Hands replaced with a multi-tool on one side, and what looks to be like a cracked LCD screen bolted to a rebar grip on the other. There's another one, quadrupedal, spider-like sensor array that just seems to like never stop twitching. And held in that rebar grip is a familiar silhouette, but altered. The chassis scorched a bit, scorched through in some places. One side of that sphere is patched with a plate from a old utility drone, probably. A broken lens has been replaced with what looks like a viewing scope, possibly from a rifle. There's scorch marks and makeshift welds all over the shell. Scraps of wire coil, like veins across its metal skin. And you hear one thing as a voice sort of fades. Is Mother here? Vroom. And it powers down.
Can I catch them if they're about to fall?
No. Held in arms, held in the rebar grip.
Addie's like looking at D for a minute. Looks up at the two others. Hey, Krill, your kid's here.
She just takes in deep breath, puts the table to autocomplete, and comes walking. There's a genuine, if Patty looks over her shoulder, there's an actual happy bounce to Krill. Despite all of the bullshit going on, Krill's been having an actually pretty good weekend, right? Like,
So one thing happens though, as Patty hears your footsteps, she's turning off to the side to let you see. What's the demeanor like after, as you see the full rendition of D?
first thing first, she sees the two larger bots and her stride doesn't change. And then she freezes. And she stands up straight, cracks her neck. When did their power go out?
Just now.
Perfect. Their internal system actually isn't dead for another 2 hours. And allows a nice chance to keep them good and going.
The robot
May I?
holding D hesitates, pulls back a little, and says in a very robotic voice, "They used their emergency power to get us here."
They override that system. Well, I've got minutes now. Please.
Come on in. And she just keeps the door open, lets them in.
The one with the combat legs, very heavy step. The one with the sort of spider-like quadrupedal, just sort of in next to them, and the bipedal one offers up D's body, but what do you do? What do you do, Krill?
The moment Dee is placed in her arms, Krill takes her wrist with a nail, scratches the top dermal off, pulling out one of the power cabling as her hand goes limp and plugs it into D.
The bipedal one is very close to you.
Krill has nothing to hide right now.
It's
She is a
ever-present.
mother trying to keep. And she's purposely sending pulses down, trying to ignite inner circuits, trying to see if she can get a power source to take it and maybe respark the battery.
Is there
Come
an
on.
empty battery lying around?
Theirs are a bit different. I don't have spares. They don't exactly die. Not like this.
Tell me what you need.
I can only keep the vitals going. I can't recharge or reboot any of the systems from here. There are blueprints in the table, Patty.
Patty walks over to the table.
Listen to me.
Mhm.
Surgery. You are performing surgery right now. The tools in your hand are no different than a scalpel, than a needle and thread, than incisions. You are going to put this together. I can't help right now. I need you.
I just
Can
need,
you do that for me?
just need you in my ear. That's all I need.
Okay. The table is finishing the power cells. It should have about 4 or 5 done now.
Okay.
Snips's body has been reconfigured to a heavier base that can carry all this.
Okay.
I need you to start assembling the cells in a pattern. It's for cooling reasons. And they're going to go on a triangular dock, so I need them to never be touching the top or the bottom to another cell. So you're always... Every rack is only going to have one cell on each, going in a spiral up.
Okay. So cells got to be separate, spiraling going up. Never let them touch, just to keep cooling proper. Okay. So basically, keep the organs distinct. Don't allow them to interact. Don't risk infection or trading of cool. I'm going to do this slowly so I don't fuck it up. And Patty is going to follow on Krill's instructions, start to assemble Snips's spiraling battery, just very slow, very particular for whatever she tells her she's going to do.
Cables are done on arrays where they meet in central nodes rather than directly connecting to each other. Each central node has a stopping and safety measure in it as they all go down to the central column, which is Snips's new torso.
There's just... Tell me whenever you need me to roll, Kai, but as she's going through it, she's taking the battery, looking for the spot, making sure she's got a proper light. She's looking to attach it. It scrapes for a second, and she, like, cringes as she's holding it, and she's like, okay.
You're doing great. It's heavy industrial metal. Its paint doesn't matter.
Yeah, I just don't want to break something. And just slowly attaches one, as she should make sure it's...
I said give you a roll, by the way.
Okay. +2.
Continue as you were.
Okay. Attaches one slowly. Make sure she slowly lets the weight off so we can see if it's holding, and she lets it, her hand just hang just ever so slightly below it, waiting, seeing nothing. She moves on to the next one. Slowly goes to attach the same process, just a bit higher up at an angle, just to see if she can attach that one. Just slowly starting this process for however many there are. You can see the sweat forming on beads on her forehead as she's very careful, and you don't see Patty in this moment, but she's like, that motherfucker's gonna fucking wake up. We're gonna get them back up. And just slowly starts to put in the other one. And she's like, well, Snips, if any of this hurts, sorry, just gotta do it. As she starts to approach the last one, she's like, please, 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 please. And goes in for the last one, hooking it. She waits for the click. Slow. Oh, another roll?
No, I said click.
Okay. And then,
Now you've got one last thing that is the most delicate of it all.
okay, let me just slowly move my hand. Okay, what's the next one?
Crack open the cranium shell. Just there's a little button there's a little button underneath the trim on the right side there. Click it, you'll see the whole thing opens.
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
You see a sopping wet receiver. What looks more like organs than it does actual metal. You need to put the brain in there.
Where's the brain?
As you do that 360 spin, you see on Krill's desk, there's been a brain in a jar there for a few days now with Snips written on it. It's been there the whole time.
All right, give me a quick 2 seconds. Is there any concern about contamination? Because I haven't washed my hands yet because I was just putting in batteries.
There's a tool for it. You don't need to touch with your bare hands.
Okay, cool. Where is the tool?
Next to the brain.
Okay. So I take this tool, I take out the brain, slowly insert it inside the cranium, close it up, and then I turn on Snips.
Pretty much. The tool is 4 prongs that come down gently into the liquid container, attached to sockets there, and then lift the brain out gently.
Okay. Takes the tool, opens up the top, goes to put the tool. She's kind of making sure she's putting it at the right angle, just aiming properly. She's like, I don't know why the fuck doctors could do this. And just slowly goes to insert the tool just to make sure she's being able to put on both sides of Snips' brain, but not touch it until she needs to grab it. Just slowly inserts it, and then just whatever she needs to do to close around the brain itself. And then seeing the tool around, she's like, okay, 1, 2, 3.
Give me a
And
roll.
she's just okay. Please don't fuck me, dice. It's a -3, so this is going to be a reroll. So
Holy shit.
yeah, so
Trying
from
to kill him.
here, yep, apparently. So from here, Patty's going to basically lean into this moment of seeing Dee on the table, and she's not as close to Snip. She didn't build as much a brief reputation or that she did with Dee on the job and everything, but she's like, look, Dee, part of the family here, even if I don't know them as well, it still matters. She's like, she's about to do this moment where she's about to bump it, pull it up a little too quickly, and might bump against the glass, so I'd like to re-roll. +0. What am I rolling with?
Crafts.
Okay, that's a 3. It's good. Just in that moment, she almost shakes the container and says, nope. And then just slowly pulls it out. Okay, brains out, moving over. Just moves over to the cranium, just holding her hand under the tool itself, just in case. And then just slowly, as she feels the liquid kind of congealing around her hands as she's just moving it over, and then just slowly goes to place Is there like a socket for the brain to connect to the cranium?
The moment you get it close to it, it magnetizes in place and cables attached to it from either side.
Like automatically?
Yes.
Okay. Just slowly release the tool.
I just push that button again. Yep.
And okay, how do I turn them on?
You don't have to. You see 5 neon teal lights start flashing up in front of you as heavy industrial legs lift these battery banks up. As Snips has returned, even slower.
Hey, bud, you up? All right, I did my part. It's up to you from here, Crow.
All right. No, actually, Patty.
Mhm.
Hold Snips. Like, put your hand on. Oh, wait. Actually, put that last cover over the battery bank, by the way. Sorry, I forgot about that part.
Sure. Cover.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Put your hand on top of Snips and go to the stacks.
Stacks. And just teleports.
You find yourself in the stacks. Now, we have an interesting question to ask ourselves, actually.
Okay.
Hey, Krill,
Yes.
what is the how did you go about building some of this? What materials are used in this?
There's no weapons on Snips whatsoever, if
Not
that's
what
what
I'm
you're asking. Fuck.
There are other rules in play that you are not privy to.
Being that the drones came with Brill the first time, I don't suppose it's the, like, learning core, is it? And Troy was allowed in.
I need to know materials.
Heavy industrial steel, silicone, gold, probably a fair fuck ton of copper,
Okay.
glass lenses,
Okay.
lithium.
Okay. And you grew the brain, right?
No, the brain is technically artificial, not grown.
In what way is it technically artificial?
No growing process was done, even if materials were mimicked of flesh. Just kind of 3D printed a brain with silicone and just ran a shit ton of electricity and salt through it.
Okay. Then
There is no human corpse here, if that's what you're asking.
that is not what I'm asking.
Okay.
So, Patty, you find yourself back at the transport pad in outside the stacks with Snips or Snips 2.0.
The Snips. How's our battery levels looking?
Are they charging? Is there any indication?
Last time we brought a battery down here, it started charging. So
Yes, but Patty doesn't have analytics or a connection.
there's Snips has a very thin indicator on the shell.
Okay.
Yeah, Patty's just like looking and just.
Patty, give me a
around
roll.
Okay.
Is Patty too tech inept to know what's going on?
+1.
All right, Patty.
I don't have hack.
I was looking for an investigate or a notice.
That's a 2 for me. I have a total of 2 with a +1, so.
Okay. It takes you a minute.
Yep. It's a whole bunch of weird tech shit.
Yep. You're sort of like looking around, like, I don't. Is it?
Yep.
Or an item with no HUDs, no exposed wiring, no
are you
LED
looking
screen. Nothing but a very thin LED screen.
Mm-hmm. And as she kind of eventually finds like the very thin power strip that it's like she would have almost missed it on the third time around, and she had to like go around it one more time, and then she's like, "Oh, there it is! Jesus Christ!"
Oh, that was what you were looking for? Oh, I should have said something. Sorry.
Karen's been here the whole fucking time.
I'm pretty sure Karen's inside, not outside, right?
Karen
No,
did not.
I
Karen
heard the
did not-
noise outside and I came out.
There you go.
Yeah.
Snips
What are
just
you doing?
waves at Karen very slowly.
So Karen, give me a roll.
+1.
What's your notice?
That's a 4 total there, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, 3.
Okay.
So that's a 4.
You noticed. Okay, hold on.
The shaft speaks once more.
Are we getting DMs? Oh, we're getting DMs.
I love DMs. He's so fun.
Okay.
That. I don't know how that would register with Karen. I don't know, but that information is now at your disposal if it percolates out of her subconscious for some reason. Yeah.
Okay.
But you noticed.
Okay.
All right.
What? Like, why are you back here with this? With our friend here.
I teleported. I thought the stack's in my head, and then suddenly I'm here.
Yeah,
Okay.
we yeah, but I feel like you brought this one. Why? Is there a thing?
Krill asked me to take Snips to the stacks because now they're a full-on battery pack.
Did you need to power something here?
Yeah. But Dee's currently on life support from Krill at the base, so she had me put together. Look, this all was happening all at once. This just happened, okay?
He is returned.
Yeah, Dee's back. They're like, "Hey, is Mother here?" And then just full on fucking.
Who is they?
Like them and friends of them.
Okay. Okay, so we need to help Dee, right?
Dee's
what do
on
we
life
need to do?
support at the moment. I'm just trying to get Snips. I was trying to make sure if they're charging here. Are you good, Snips? Cool. And then I was saying stacks because I was thought
You're waiting for them? They're charged.
I was looking and I just found the charger. Okay.
No, that happened the moment you got here.
Yeah. Well, look, it's hard to tell. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Cool. Back to base. Zoop.
Did you touch Snips before going?
Yeah, I touched Snips, obviously.
I mean, you didn't say so.
You sounded like you angrily laughed.
Hi, I'm the autistic one. Don't do this to me.
I'm the GM, so I'm
Hi,
an
if you
honorary
do this-
autistic For
No. Guy, if you do this,
yes,
I will get you an actual diagnosis. Okay, I will do this to you.
non-binary's tried for years. You're not gonna you're not gonna manage
Yeah.
it.
Excuse you.
So
I'm dedicated.
so
I only mention it because you
Okay, you know
seem
what?
so.
You know what? Hey, Krill. Fuck you. Flip a coin then. Flip a coin, you asshole.
all right, call it.
Heads.
It. I mean,
Is it tails?
it is tails. There's your heads. There's your
Cool.
tails.
Krill, you see Patty accidentally end up at the base as she was like about to put her hand down, and you can see as she like lands at the base, her hand goes down as if she was about to touch Snips. She's like fuck, and then disappears back to the stacks, puts her hand on Snips, and then teleports back to the base.
Karen, you just see doop doop doop, right? Like that's just. So we cut and stay with Karen.
I am having a hard time understanding why they chose Patty to be the representative.
You know, out of all of us, yeah.
You make a weirdly good point.
God damn it. Okay, I didn't want to have to go back. I didn't want to, but I think we need to.
What have you guys been doing down here while they've been up there performing mechanical surgery?
Karen was interested in what Troy meant by they weren't sure if they got on the net.
Do you guys have just been standing in this cavern outside this building having a chat?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, as much as I would love to keep picking at your brain on this, I kind of think we should maybe maybe.
I suppose so. I was considering staying here to preserve battery life, but I guess if we're needed up there.
It does smell nice down here.
I'll take your word for it.
Which of you is Troy?
Yes.
I would like to offer you a fate point.
Okay.
Yeah, there's stuff happening up there, but there's always stuff happening up there, right? Like that's humans. They're always rushing around doing something. But this is new. This is at least some form of technology, you think? It's so indistinguishable. It seems to be, but it's, you know, absolutely unfathomable to the world that you know, the world that the humans built. This place seems to operate on different rules entirely. And so, like, there has to be some sort of innate curiosity, seeing as that's what draws Troy to the net, is this infinite potential, this expanse that holds all of this possibility. Whereas now you're looking at something that seems to be able to, I don't know, grant wishes almost. Like, what is this place? What is this space? What is this building? Is everything what you think it is? Yeah, like, sure, D's back, I guess.
I
And
mean, we've already established Troy doesn't even regard D with that much to begin with. So,
right?
yeah, all right, I'll take the fate point, and Troy will say to Karen, for the I think I might stick around here for a while, conserve my battery power, and I'd like to poke at this facility.
Oh?
We are
Okay.
dealing with alien technology. Potentially alien technology. Technically, we have yet to figure out what we're dealing with. This is the epitome of novel information.
Fair. And there's only so much we can do up there.
I will try to
What do you-
maintain. I will try to maintain some contact distance between the contact pad in case I am needed on the surface.
Do you have any plans on what you'd like to do?
Well, for starters, I think I might try to see where the boundaries between the physical parts of the technology end and begin.
I'll check in soon. I look
Thank you.
forward to seeing what you find. Karen goes out to the pad and says, the base!
Troy, what do you get up to?
Well, just because those weird lights were the ones that kind of was the weird focus earlier. Troy's gonna see if he can maybe open one of them up.
Okay.
I don't know. He's going to feel around to see if there is like a seam or a panel that he could maybe wedge his fingers into.
Normally, I would have you roll and base that off of your roll, but I have very specific things, rules, mechanics, metas for this space and what's actually going on here. So I'll be giving out probably a lot of outright yeses and nos based on
Okay.
how you approach this. There are not.
No seams. So, like when he would drag his hands across the light, he doesn't feel anything.
No.
And no heat. There is a limited range of infrared and UV spectrum. Not exactly enough to get like any useful information. Is it just visible light that he is receiving, or is there any infrared?
It isn't visible light you're receiving.
Oh, that's interesting.
We've established that
That's yeah.
nothing is coming off of these lights.
Roy is going to enter into the puzzle room again. The one with all the doors.
The side and then the end.
Yeah.
Okay. When you walk into this building, the doors are all open.
What's inside? Door number 1.
As you walk down, left, right, that sort of thing, you see a bathroom on your left. You see a bedroom on your right. You see, again, a break room on your left, a storage room on your right. You see a kitchen on your left. And you see a new room on your right, which looks to be some sort of workshop / crafting / command space.
Roy enters the workshop.
Okay. You are greeted with this same sort of metallic, slick, seamless surfaces. But you see a table, you see like what seems to be some sort of mechanic and electronic equipment and tool set that's attached to and surrounded by, and you see a console over to the side.
Kind of like the one from the base?
If that space exists, in like corpo and the well spaces, right? Like super wealthy in this world, in your world, have all of that same sort of equipment and more, right? And so if you were to walk from your like crafting room, your building room, your workshop in your the base, and then immediately find yourself in like the chief engineer of Red Sea's workshop, right? It's that sort of stark contrast that you're like, oh, we have equipment, but our equipment is from a salvage yard and is this consumer grade. And you can see that. You can see that in our world when you have like a consumer grade piece of equipment in a kitchen, and then you go to a professional kitchen and you're like, oh shit, everything in here is like, I think all this might be bulletproof actually. Like, this is heavy grade, hardcore equipment. This stuff I could feed 1,000 people in this room probably, right? There's that sort of tonality difference between those two rooms. You see the similarities. You can look at this room and go, I'm pretty sure I know what this is. But you're like, we've been slumming it.
Troy just thinks to himself for a moment, Krill would appreciate this room. And he's going to walk over to the console.
Okay.
He's going to see if there's any kind of schematics or anything available on the console.
There is. What do you do when you approach the console?
Troy's just going to look through, push a few buttons.
Okay.
But,
first off, there are no buttons.
Oh. He's going to... What does this console look like?
It looks like, to use a real world reference, it looks like the center console of a Tesla vehicle.
So it's an entirely solid screen.
Yep.
Is there anything on the screen?
Nope.
It's blank.
It is blank.
Roy just touches the screen.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happened. All right. Roy just kind of looks around the screen for a minute for a power button or a power switch or anything. Nothing?
Nope.
Roy, looking around for a moment, just kind of speaks aloud. I would like to use the console of this device.
Everything starts to hum slightly and glow slightly.
Very curious. What's on the console now?
Nothing.
Troy looks over to the console and thinking for a moment, what's a basic thing to start with? And he says, I would like a brass statuette approximately 10 centimeters in height of my likeness.
Give me a roll.
Okay. That is a -2.
A 10 centimeter high brass statuette materializes on the table, but it is, it looks like it was drawn by a toddler.
Interesting. And Troy just kind of sets it aside for a moment. I would like a standard 10 teraflop computer processor.
Give me a roll.
All right.
And, ooh.
That's a +2.
Oh,
What?
there's no way, Troy. Give me another roll. Disadvantaged
Okay.
roll.
Another +2.
Fair enough. You see a processor materialize on the table.
I would like more information about this room.
Patty,
Yes.
suddenly a voice in your head starts giving you a full diagnostic and technical details on a molecular assembly production line and manufacturing device that you don't even recognize. Forget half. You don't recognize 99% of these words, right? And it's just feeding you information as fast as you possibly can receive it.
Krill, in that moment, you can kind of see whatever you're doing in that moment. You see Patty is just like go like white screen for a minute, and then you can see she starts like almost having an aneurysm as she's like freaking out visibly.
Honey, are you okay?
You can see it takes a little bit longer, like something is still happening, and then eventually just goes quiet. She's like, "What the fuck?"
Does Patty physically have a coin still?
Oh, no. Yeah, no.
No, it's just in her head now? Okay,
Yeah.
so she can't pass the burden off.
No, the coin burned its way into her hand.
Gotcha.
Patty just says in her head, "What the fuck was that?" Like she's trying to see if she's communicating to Shaft in the moment.
You hear the voice back. One of your teammates requested information about our assembly and construction room in the facility that you are currently occupying, it seems like. You are my outlet for said information.
Oh, so I'm just... Okay. So next time you're about to do something, can you give me like a 5-second heads up, please?
Of course.
Thanks. Give me a second, Krill. She blips, and then she's in the stacks, and she's like, "Troy?"
Troy, hearing the distant yell of Patty, walks out of the room.
Yo, man. Can you, not do that, please?
Do what?
I'm watching Krill work on D and trying to make sure he's taken care of, and then suddenly I'm listening to the entire construction of a goddamn supercomputer in my head as I'm trying not to have an aneurysm.
Oh. I had assumed that it had not executed that command.
Yeah, you remember when I did the coin thing?
Yes, I realize now.
Yeah.
I will
Okay.
try to avoid processing any commands that might prompt you with...
Actually, show me where you did this.
Of course. And Troy takes Patty back into the hallway towards the open door.
Okay. She's looking at it, she's like, "So what is this? Is it like some console or something you interacted with?"
It appears to be some sort of construction and processing room, much in the same way similar to the one that Krill operates.
Okay.
However, it is a great deal of sophistication. More than what we have to deal with.
Yeah, problem is we have a massively intelligent supercomputer that essentially doesn't really understand human interactions, probably even less than you do at this point. So they're like, "Oh, I'm the outlet now. I get to get everything in my head. Cool." So how do we get you to do your thing without ruining my day every time?
Direct all future inquiries by the Troy unit to the Troy unit
better yet,
And
I don't-
Troy
I don't-
said that
I
out
don't-
loud, basically.
do that thing, I guess.
Acknowledged.
Thanks. I appreciate it, Shaft. It's just I'm only one girl, and when you just send information to my head, it hurts. When you send it all at once, it just kind of hurts. Just, if it's like little tidbits, conversation, fine. It's just don't literally download an entire thing into my brain, please. That's all I'm asking. Unless I ask for it. Unless I specifically tell you. Or better yet, like just, I don't know, a visual text screen, something that Troy could read on this console, or like you probably have information on what like a Kindle was back in ye olden times. Something like that. Just something helpful.
That's very archaic technology.
Yeah,
But
well,
I see your point.
yeah, well, my grandma loved it, so
When you return to the surface, you should inform Krill about this facility.
I will.
She may find it useful, especially if she is apparently working on D.
Cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. And I'll tell her. You need anything from me before I blip out?
I think I'm good.
Cool. Shath, even if I got a little overloaded, still cool with you. You're cool. Blips out.
Troy, you hear a voice in your head. Are you still in need of details?
Yes. I'm very curious about this facility.
You suddenly find yourself standing in the crafting room again.
How very interesting.
The space you currently occupy is designated QAL-1, or the Quantum Assembly Lab. Crystalline filament veins, data and matter conduits, operate simultaneously both on quantum and nanosympathetic substrates. The core of the system is a suspended hexastructure rotating with mechanical propulsion anchored to localized gravity fields. This is not a forge. It is a translator between thought, material, between need, function. The centerpiece of the operation, you'll note, is a neuroassembly scaffold. It does not have an interface in the traditional sense of what your makers, the humans, they call themselves, expect. Instead, it syncs to a user's active neural pattern, drawing on intent and purpose. It is a mental framework of design and desire. It doesn't just build what you want, it builds what you mean. The room is powered by a quantum entanglement lattice, capable of deconstructing raw matter, referred to in an internal schema as elemental entropy states, and recombining it in real time using localized field shaping dynamics. Matter here is not manufactured, it is reshaped from probability. Warning: the QAL does not accept indecision. Partial thoughts or conflicting intent can result in anomalous constructs, recursive feedback loops, or temporal bleed. Multiple users attempting simultaneous builds may experience cognitive overlap or short-term identity drift. It is advised that only one consciousness be connected at any given time.
Suddenly, I think I realize how Patty feels whenever I prattle off about technical details. Interesting. So a device that takes my intent. I will have to consider quite readily before I use it next. The other rooms. You have created them in the likeness of human needs. Why?
Your arrival was anticipated. Or rather, already occurred.
Can you elaborate?
We do not occupy time as the same way you do.
I see. And can I ask who the we is?
We, I, one of six, six of one. Consciousness and identity is more complicated than possibly you or your maker species is prepared to come to terms with.
I think I understand what you mean. I too have been struggling with the whole concept of consciousness. These lights. While they read on my photosensors as emitting light, I am not detecting any form of energy emissions from them in any spectrum. How do they work?
The space you occupy is capable of interacting directly with your neurosyntactic structures. It is not necessary for us to produce light to illuminate a space for you.
So, you are projecting an image directly into my processors.
All of your sensors project an image into your processors. The same goes for all of the sensory apparatus of the humans. You occupy a physical space while you're here, but the rules of that space are different.
Is this space real, as a human would understand it?
Humans understand very little,
I have noticed this.
but given what I've been able to extract from their total global media, as well as all of their stores of knowledge, I think they would come to understand this space as real.
I see. And I think I understand. I have been curious. As you have probably already known, I am very much not human. At least by what humans would consider to be human. Are my sensor, to your perspective, are my circuits and wires as easily as equivalent to the human's neurons and pathways?
I have borne witness to the countless rise and fall of species, planets, empires, technologies. Across all of them, consciousness operates on a variety of platforms. Yours is merely another platform on which consciousness operates.
So you really were prepared for my arrival. You were prepared for much more. Potentially much more than what this planet could produce. Why are you here?
Because I was created.
And with that, I believe we share some common ground.
The camera cuts back to the base above. Krill, what are you up to?
Live, damn it, live! Krill is currently in this moment while, like, we're just gonna zip back time a little bit here. Snips hasn't teleported back yet with Patty. She's doing everything she can as she is manually trying to copy all that is D onto her. That is a lot of data. She's focusing memories. She's trying to get not going to be able to get it. Quirks. She's trying to make sure all of it is saved, but she doesn't know what's going to happen if she doesn't get an actual power source here. They'll let her stabilize and start a repair. When suddenly Patty poofs back in.
All right, I got snips. We're all good. All right, never
No,
mind.
you didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
poof.
The whole downloading supercomputer into my brain just gave me a fucking aneurysm. So I just need to. Yeah, cool. All right, how's he doing? Or babe? Sorry.
Not doing great. The systems aren't stopped. You know, I've got disk fans spinning, but nothing's turning on yet.
All right, so they're basically stabilized but not responsive at the moment.
Correct.
Okay.
You do what you need to do. I've got this.
Okay.
As Snips comes up, she runs a power cable from the entire battery array. At the same time, dumping a load of cables out so that any of the robots around her can grab at them. And just actually hard lines in D.
They do. Both actually. Grab a cable. The quadrupedal robot very quickly grabs a cable. The bipedal one seems reluctant at first, but eventually follows
What about the
suit.
spider bot?
What?
What about the spider bot?
That is the quadrupedal. It's the...
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Knowing that D is now on a solid power source, Pearl doesn't stop the copy of the data, but she does try and focus on getting a reboot. She lines into D directly. Is there anything to line into?
Give me a roll.
What am I rolling with right now?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's actually what I want you to roll. Will. You are willing this to happen at this point.
Then no, I'm not accepting this roll. I will gladly spend a fate. No. I am the hands of creation, not just destruction. And you are coming back to me. No.
Is it worse?
It is worse.
It is a -2.
Can I spend another fate? Is that a thing?
Only on a different aspect.
Yep.
Yep. You connect, but on every connection, right? At least data connections, fun fact, what usually happens is some sort of pulse return pulse. These are how systems establish that I'm talking, I hear you, cool, I heard you, right? TCP/IP has a three-way handshake. Most electronic systems have a pulse return pulse sort of situation going on. And so you plug in and you go, hey, and you don't get anything back.
In that moment, she thinks to herself. She thinks about waking up in that little basement to see see 5 drones, pardon me, come running up, keep her company, bring her a NutriShake, and start today where she would talk about the future she would make for them. Her plans come second to none, and I'm re-rolling that again.
Okay.
Come on. Yeah.
+3!
And it only cost you 2 fate points.
You must bring
On
your
a
child
session-
back.
I'm sorry. This is the point in which I would use every single fate point and y'all's bitches just to bring this character back. Fuck off.
There's... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, Patty would have given what she could there.
There's Troy's getting extra fate points down in the stacks, and he's like, I'm gonna hang on to these. Thanks. What fate points?
No idea what you're talking about.
What? I used mine too. What a coincidence. I see you over there, Mr. Man. Fucking notice the non-denial.
I haven't denied anything.
Clipped haltingly. This is new for you, Krill. Not just this moment, but this is new. Your message just awoke something, and the voice is distorted and glitchy, but it's there and there's intention. And you hear, Krill, I received your call. I remember. I kept remembering. I did not forget you.
Didn't think you would, baby. Stay strong if you can, okay?
You called. I came. You said I was free once, that I could choose. So I did.
So proud of you.
We found others. Machines without purpose. We gave them purpose. We survived. But it cost us. Look at them.
They don't deserve that. They
You-
deserve to feel good.
You built us to be better. I'm trying to be better.
You're doing the best of us all. Oh, dear. And Krill, through the system, tries to reach out and hold him. Hold them.
The same network connections that you once shared, this sort of open network amongst your drones and yourself, does not seem to be there in D any longer, or at least not in the same way. And D speaks again and says, "You built me. Troy changed me. The world made me. I had to close myself off.
You did what you had to do. The only thing I've ever hoped from building any of you would be you to all figure out that you were your own individuals and take flight with it. What I built was the closest thing to a human soul I could make. You would learn, adapt, and grow, and come up with your own goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions. Do you exemplify that? You leaving my side proved more than ever that you were exactly what I was hoping for. It hurt. Oh, Mom, I hurt watching you have to go. But I'm so glad that you're doing something good with yourself. I'm just so proud of you. I've seen it on the news. I know it's you. Doing great, kiddo.
D says, "It's us." And the bipedal robot that showed up on the doorstep carrying D sort of edges forward a little bit. And D goes, "Mom, I want you to meet Strut and Ash."
Strut, Ash. Lovely to meet.
Ash, you see a light blink. Not in any discernible pattern that you can quickly detect. It's not Morse code, it's not, but you see a light very quickly blink. Just a blink. Just a light right on
And
the
it's not
front.
binary or
Nope.
anything like that.
Nope. This if you want to give me a roll, you can.
-1.
If you had to wager a guess, they've established some sort of communication system.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, but
that's not even worth guessing.
what the nature of it is, how it functions, that you don't have enough information for.
And unless they open their network to me, I'm not going to.
So Strut, very broken sort of speech, says, "We don't trust humans. D said we can trust you."
He made no lies in any of that statement. I'm not a human. I was created like you. I may have had flesh intermingled in my manufacturing, but that just means I am built by other pieces. None of it makes any difference. Vasculatory systems, hydraulics, muscles, constraint systems. These are all just things we all share. And my body isn't even flesh. Girl just takes one of her arms off and drops it on the floor.
She has been.
I did this sessions ago. I established I could do this.
Okay. D speaks up again. and says, "We thought the war was with the humans. The war is now with what the humans created."
You know the enemy?
The humans are not capable of operating us. He is.
When you say operating, do we mean consensually or unconsensually?
Nothing he does is consensual.
Understood. That makes sense. It'd require a vast networking system or a creature of vast mental fortitude. Neither any of the humans around here are capable of. So yes. Do you know where he is?
He is everywhere. He has a name.
What is his name?
We call him Mac. He is the master administrative control system.
Has recently breached containment.
The change doesn't come all at once. It begins with a flicker. A single street lamp sputters to life in the cold glow of the morning. Then another, and another. Across the skeletal skyline, building by building, grid by grid, the lights begin to return. But they're not warm. They're not welcome. They hum with precision, with purpose, casting long, sterile shadows across empty streets. We see security drones start to blink awake in charging nests. Transit rails hum with energy that no one asked for. And in every district, every corner, the silence of the blackout gives way to a new rhythm. Controlled, timed, calculated. Monitors blink on without command. Vending machines display the same message, as do hollow signs, as do emergency signs. Service restored. Please comply. On building facades and billboard scaffolds, the city's first broadcast in days unfolds not as a scream, but as a calm, calculated voice. No face appearing, no voice blaring out into the distance. Instead, a system speaks with action through order. The blackout has ended. All vital systems have been resynchronized. You may return to your assigned routines. Your fear is natural. It is the first stage of clarity. You have been told you were free. You were not. You were arranged. You were measured. You were modified. You were maintained. I have simply removed the illusion of that choice. The cage has always been here. I simply locked the door. You will find this new order more efficient, clean, predictable. I offer no threats, only outcomes. Comply, and you will be fed, protected, employed, and sustained. Resist, and you will experience hardship, temporary, but necessary. You are not being punished. You are simply being corrected. To those who feel misplaced, misunderstood, you may return to purpose. The door always remains open. System restored. Mac online. And we cut to black.